Why stop at one? We can, you know.
Yeah.
We don't want her to just watch.
Although
It's kind of hot when you watch sometimes.
Elite Daily.
Welcome to the Elite Daily Show. I'm Heather.
I'm Gabby, and we are here with Dr. D, dating coach, lifestyle coach.
I'm their victim.
Can you give us a Twitter bio of like what you do?
I take shy guys that want to improve their lives with men, women, like basically life, dating, and sex, and me and a team of beautiful girls, basically, you know, up their swagger.
So where do we look for husbands?
Okay, so
where do we go?
this gets all down into one, know what you want.
Okay.
Okay. What are like, you know, 5 characteristics that you like, and know what you don't want. What are deal breakers for you?
Okay, so let's say we find the perfect guy. Like, what's a good opener?
Yeah,
Right.
what do we say?
So say there's a group of people and you want to just display your personality and be fun, right? And start an interesting conversation and you know, see what they have to say, let them get a feel for you.
So we do our stand-up, our tight
You could
five?
do your stand-up.
Okay.
Here's
that's what we
something
do.
I used to do in high school. Tell me if this would still work. Where you walk up to guys and you're like, who's cuter?
Yeah, who's cuter?
Or we would look really good together.
Or can I borrow your phone? I need to call my mom and let her know I just met my future
Or
husband.
how many children do you see yourself having with me? No pressure.
These are terrible.
So what's a quick, I'm at a bar, cute guy over there, time is ticking.
So-
He's gonna
all
walk
right.
out of the bar. What's a quick thing
So
I can say to grab his attention?
here's a funny thing. Say the guy looks at you, right? There are a lot of great guys out there that aren't as confident, right? And they're not gonna come up to you and stop you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they are not worth your time, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he catches your eye for a second.
Yeah.
And you just walk up to him and you say, hey, listen, you know, if you're gonna check me out, you should at least be polite and introduce yourself. What's your name?
Oh,
Whoa.
So that's kind of bold, right? That's real.
Should we write that down?
Let's write that down.
You should write that down. Put that in your notebook.
Mental
That's really
note.
good.
I'm really popular. I go to a lot of house parties. Just want to drop that in there. How do you pick up a guy at a house party?
You start a conversation about something fun, like you know, you go up to somebody's mutual friend and you're like, hey, so you know, I don't know why you seem like you travel a lot. I'm trying to plan a trip. What would you recommend? Making maybe kind of an assumption about someone is, hey, like you look like that. It's a fun conversation.
So are you saying it's not a good idea, like if you meet someone, to secretly Google them while you're still at the party?
Everybody
Don't do
does that. There's always a girl on my Facebook at like 3 in the morning somewhere stalking me.
So we don't really have time to like change ourselves and become marriable. So like in the effort to just get it done, what are like 5 quick lines we could use?
Being direct, all right, and good, and just telling someone, wow, like you have like, you know, super positive energy, or like, you know, I noticed you.
Here's something I try. I don't know if this is good or bad, but I like the line, how many STDs do you have?
Ooh.
How many STDs have you successfully been treated for?
Yeah. When I first met you at the Edison, the first
true
thing
story.
I overheard you say was, herpes are no big deal, but genital warts though, I had to laser those off a patient.
Oh, I see what he
True.
did there. Is
Well,
that like a
it's-
good opener? Like, hey, you probably already have herpes. What's up?
You know, no, don't do that.
So Heather and I are very single, and I think our problem is we keep going for the wrong guys, right?
Yeah, apparently.
So how do we, when we're meeting guys, how do we know who's playing us and who is in it for the right reason?
Who's trying to father our children and who's just
What are
trying
some
to...
things to watch
Hit it
out
and quit
for?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 2 answers to that question, and one is that I think like sexuality is a very important part of relationships. So before you necessarily say, oh, you know, someone's just trying to hit it and quit it, it's actually important to find out if you guys are sexually compatible, to see if there is even a relationship
Sleep
down
with
the line.
everyone.
On the first
Got
date.
it.
But the other parts of that are what we talked about earlier, and that's what you're going to screen for when you talk to the guy.
Yeah.
So the guys that are in less transitional periods of their lives are probably the guys that are about 30. They're getting to be a little bit more financially stable. Yeah, look at her, she's purring. And so these are things that you know, you can find out through conversation, right?
Stalking.
And then also asking,
Not
like, when
stalking.
was your last relationship?
And yeah,
Is that a good one?
Yeah, like stuff like that.
Do guys ever give themselves away as being like not serious?
I think that the real tell is when you actually go out with the guys. You get set up so you can see that he's not in a point in his life where he's probably ready to really like look for like a partner.
How do we find guys that are boyfriend material?
Okay, so I think you want to start looking for people that have really developed themselves and have a good sense of like identity, right? And so what's one question you can ask? Hey, so what do you do besides go out with your buddies and get a beer and work? Like what do you do for fun? And especially for guys that are like 30 and over, if they don't really have an answer to that, you know, it's kind of like, ooh. You know, when I ask girls this and they're like, yeah, I just go out with my friends and you know, I do whatever, I'm like, oh, really? Like you ask me this, I'm gonna be like, sea kayaking, I love backpacking, I love vegetable gardening.
If a guy says nothing, I shouldn't take that as, oh, he has a lot of free time for me to be his girlfriend, that's not a good thing.
No.
So you want
No.
guys with hobbies.
That, right, yeah, you want guys that have stuff that makes them them and that, you know, you might enjoy doing with them. The other thing I was gonna say is, who are all the people you hang out with, right? Because remember, your personality is probably reflective of, like, you know, the 3 or 4 people you spend the most time with, which makes me extremely concerned about who her best friends are.
So if his best friends are all kind of like very single, like crazy wild guys that are doing shots,
then we should try to
date all of them. Yes.
Well,
no.
if that's what you're all about, you know, you want people that are working on developing themselves in like all areas of this, right? You want someone that kind of like takes their health seriously, right? You want someone that's going to be functional when they're older, right? They're not going to keel over at 40 and have a heart attack.
Yeah.
And leave you with everything.
Who
would want
right?
that?
It sounds horrible.
Who would want it?
So Dee, thank you so much. We learned so much. We're going to take these skills out into the wild.
Yeah.
Can you tell our viewers where can they find you?
So yeah, absolutely. If you're interested in learning more about us, the website is www.drdlifestyle.com. On there, you can call us, text us, email us. I'm super responsive.
We're never gonna stop calling you Dr.
Yeah,
D.
we're gonna keep calling you and calling you
and calling you.
Hi. How are you guys? Can I sit here? Can I sit? Yeah. Is that cool? You guys look so familiar. Do I know you from somewhere? No. My name's Gabby.
Gabby, Austin.
Austin. What's your name? What's your name?
Eric.
Broom? I thought your name was Broom because you just like swept me off my feet. Gabriella. I'm Italian. That means I could cook and I have a phenomenal ass. Can I borrow your phone? Yeah. I want to call my mother and tell her I just met my future husband.
Tell me where you're hearing this. Do people tell you this?
No, I'm trying to meet my future husband, and so yeah, and I was told that, you know, I have to put myself out there. So I'm just saying these things that like I thought of that I think would attract a husband. Yeah. Do you have any raisins on you?
Raisins?
Raisins?
Dried
raisins?
grapes?
Yeah. Do you have raisins?
No.
How about a date? Do I look like a magician?
No.
Because I think you're a magician, because every time I look at you, everyone else in the bar just disappears. Fuck me, please. I thought I lost my voice, but now I found it, talking to you.
I'm having a hard time following.
How old am I? You should never ask a woman her age. But if you really want to know,
Saw yourself in my pants.
I'm forever 21. Eric, it was so nice meeting you. You're like Prince Eric from Ariel, Little Mermaid. So your vibe reminds me of. It was so great meeting you. I'll be around. I hope your team wins.